What's going on, guys? It's Rest, and in today's video I want to talk about the Cutsman. If you don't know, this is a series I do on my channel where I take updated weapons or older weapons and put them up against today's current meta and see how they perform. So if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more like this, consider subscribing and dropping a like. It's free and it's what allows me to keep making videos like this for you guys. So the Cutsman is a legendary SMG manufactured by Maliwan, and the red text for this weapon says little android man born without a soul. If you don't know, the unique effect for the Cutsman is that it shoots out two projectiles, and those two projectiles are connected together by a beam of light, and as they travel along they spread further and further apart. The Cutsman also comes with a blade on every single one you get, hence the name, but that's not as important as of right now. So back in the day when the game first came out, this was the most sought after weapon, and rightfully so. The damage output you got from the Cutsman was absolutely insane. It was the first weapon that originally a lot of people started talking about, how it just melted bosses and everything in the game, and it wasn't ever really changed much. Maliwan weapons as a whole weren't performing too well when the game first launched, but this was the standout. This was the weapon. It's what made Maliwan popular. The Cutsman was very good at both mobbing and bossing. It was better at bossing because the way the weapon worked, with two projectiles creating a link together, you wanted to hit a big target so it could do as much damage as possible as it was passing to the enemy. But now with just the sheer damage itself, it was also decent for mobbing. You just couldn't have a fast-paced gameplay with it. But that was back then. With the addition of Mayhem 10 coming out and multiple hotfixes, the Cutsman fell off and was no longer used as much as it once was. But recently, in one of the latest hotfixes, we've gotten a buff to the Cutsman where it does increase damage. And you would think to yourself, oh, it's going to be good again. But then there was a glitch to when you saved and quit, the damage would go away. But thankfully, Gearbox has released another hotfix to where we fixed that problem. So how is the Cutsman performing out with its damage bonus on Mayhem 10? I can safely say it is a good SMG. It is definitely not one of the best weapons in the game, but it still can put out damage. On things like Wotan, surprisingly, if you pair the Cutsman with a Pearl, it actually does pretty good damage. Now, if you compare that damage to something like a Monarch or even a Light Shield that we have now, it doesn't perform better than those, but it still is a fun weapon to use. And if you have one, I would definitely recommend using it. Now, back at the start of this video where I said the blade didn't matter as much, I said that for a reason, and that's because now the blade that comes on the weapon actually matters. With the Groundbreaker Guardian rank perk, essentially, since you're going to be doing a lot of burst damage with the Cutsman, it's going to let you stack a lot of damage up for Groundbreaker, and then that blade is going to increase that damage even more, and you can just one-hit melee things. So with the Cutsman, as I said, you generally have to have a slower playstyle for mobbing, but you can shoot down one enemy, and after that one enemy dies, pretty quickly, you have enough damage to go one-shot another enemy with your melee ability. And it's just this constant rotation you can keep doing. You shoot, melee. Then like I said, for bossing, it still performs pretty well, but it's definitely not what it once was. And that's the overall verdict of this gun. After all the buffs and changes, the Cutsman, I would say, is still a decent weapon, but it's not going to perform better than other weapons we already have in the game. But with that being said, if you don't have those other weapons, because a lot are DLC weapons, or you have to get them from the takedown, you can definitely use this weapon to start trying to farm for the other weapons. But that's going to do it for this updated guide for the Cutsman. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.
Try to bait, run away, don't go. I'm in hell, might as well just go. Losing track, don't take my soul. I'm in